Uh,
Yeah,
welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Ryan,
I'm Brittany.
and we are some sad babes.
Oh Lord.
What's new with you this week?
Well, unfortunately, the newest development is I got my period, so that's always
Oh, same. We're always sinking.
We're always thinking. We're literally across the country, and we're still thinking. I don't think you usually share your screen because your face is your beautiful face is usually bigger.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome
for calling me beautiful.
But yeah, so like yesterday I had to reschedule my day because it was so serious and I puked in one of my clients' shrubs.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Fun.
So that was good.
Did you tell them or did you just like
Yeah,
clean
no,
it up and hide it?
I showed up at the door and I was like mid dry heave and I was like, I just puked in your shrubs, and she was like, sit down, calm down, and I was like, oh my God.
That's so nice.
She's a mom, so you know she does all those mom things. She was like, "Let me get you water and let me help here. Like you're not going anywhere." I'm like, "I gotta go home. Like I can't be here right now." Yeah. Do you have a pencil in your hand right now? By the way,
I do. Do you like it?
I haven't seen a number 2 pencil in a minute.
Don't you love it?
It's like brand new.
Yeah,
it reminds me of Doodle Bob from SpongeBob.
It's one of the best SpongeBob episodes ever. I'm a very analog person, you know this.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to have pencils around. I still have like my old CD players.
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
old CDs from middle school and high school and elementary school too.
I was listening to a high school CD today in my car.
What were you listening to?
You're gonna be mad at me.
Probably 30 Seconds to Mars or some bullshit.
It was Paramore.
Yeah, that's even worse. Is it worse? And
I don't know. I don't know how your scale works.
Disgust, like initial disgust factor. Like
okay, got it.
My disgust meter. It's maybe not as bad, but it's still pretty awful.
What's in your CD collection?
Jimi Hendrix and Less Than Jake and and lots of Sum 41. I think I have almost all of their albums. Blink 182.
Of course.
Shit like that. I'm trying to think of off the top of my head, but yeah, that type of shit.
That's
who I was. That's who I was in middle school and high school.
Linkin Park and System of a Down.
System of a Down. I stopped liking Linkin Park when I was
before you got to high school.
Yeah, before I got to high school. Yeah.
I forgot about Less Than Jake.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the jam back in the day. System of a Down was definitely the jam back in the day.
Oh, all my best friends are metalheads. That's the song I'm thinking of. What was the Scotty Doesn't Know? I heard that song recently and I was like, I forgot about it. Yes.
Bring you back. I was there was a period of time when I was really into I guess they call it screamo. I don't know. I was really into AFI and oh gosh, what is the name of that band?
My Chemical Romance.
I was really into My Chemical Romance, but I can't. There was one band in particular who I cannot think of the name of. I bought their album on a whim, and it was the best. I could it's still one of those albums that I can listen to front to back if I remember who I'm talking about.
How high are you?
Not high enough, but also simultaneously too high. And I'll tell you why. The reason is because
I'm confused.
I'm high, but I can't enjoy it right now because I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
So
Wait, are you uncomfortable just because you're sitting at your desk?
no, well, there. I mean, I'm always a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. That's
It's
fair.
mostly because I've been wearing glasses since I was 8 years old. I have like really bad astigmatism, and like poor eyesight in general. But I decided like I want to wear contacts. I'm tired of wearing glasses. I work out, they fall off my face. I
Yeah.
sweat in the summer, they fall off my face. I want to wear a certain outfit. They don't go with my outfit, shit like that. So I've been like back and forth, trying to find like the right contact lenses, the right prescription for like the past month. It's a fucking nightmare. So I just got these latest ones on. Did I go yesterday? What's today?
Wednesday.
I went Monday. So I got these contacts, and I don't know if I just have like ridiculously dry eyeballs or what
Yeah.
that is. But they're so uncomfortable. Like my eyes are so dry. Like I'll be able to see out of them for like a minute, and then it'll get blurry because my eyeballs are dry. Like even when I'm not high. Of course, when I'm high, it makes it worse.
So much worse. Yeah.
But yeah, so once I take these out, I will then feel my high, and then I'll go to sleep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to take my contacts out before I get high now. Which usually, if I'm getting high, I'm just staying at home, so like it doesn't bother me. Like I don't regularly go out when I'm high.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm having issues with my contacts too. They're dry and like they're new and like it's a new pair, and I'll put them in, and then I'm like, it's blurry, but it's not blurry like my vision changed.
Right,
It's just like they're not fitting right or something. So I was looking into. Have you heard of PRK?
No.
It's I forget what it stands for. Photorefractive. Something.
With a K in it.
Yeah, and it shaves your eyeball, which sounds horrible, but it corrects your vision. All right, Ralph, you cannot clean yourself in front of the mic. That's too much. Can you hear the licking? So he's pissed now. He's gone. So they shave your eyeball, and then they do the same thing that they do during LASIK in order to get your like vision corrected.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit cheaper, and it's apparently more effective than LASIK is. And I've been looking into that because I'm done with this.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I mean,
it's so expensive. It's so annoying.
I don't know if I'm trying to get my eyeball shaved.
I'm not looking forward to that, but I had a friend who did it, and they told me that like they're wicked anxious, and they were just like, they just gave me so much Valium that I didn't care anymore. I was like, that's just one reason to do it. Like, in addition, you can also
those lax LA narcotic laws over there.
Are they lax?
I mean, they're more lax in Pennsylvania. Well, Philadelphia. The rest of Pennsylvania is pretty.
Bunch of crackheads.
Yeah, it's basically. I mean, outside of Philadelphia, it's basically the Midwest. You know, Pennsylvania is basically the Midwest.
I don't know if we've talked about this, but I consider Pittsburgh to be like Midwest, and then Philly is obviously East Coast. Do you agree with that?
I mean, yeah, it may as well be. I mean,
it's such a wide state. It's such a strange, like, array of people and things and whatever. And some people will be like, no, like, you can't consider Pennsylvania to be the Midwest. But, like, what about Ohio? Like,
I would consider Ohio the Midwest.
Yeah, and it's right there. So, like, how do you not say that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess right there is relative. Ohio's pretty far. It's a pretty significant drive, like from Philadelphia. I think you can call something East Coast if it touches the coast in some way.
Yeah.
So I guess like technically Pennsylvania, the entire state of Pennsylvania would be East Coast, not just Philly. They should just make us our own place like they did to DC.
It's just so confusing.
Let's do our own thing. I have actually never been to Pittsburgh. I have never had a reason to.
So, do you remember when we were driving across the country?
Did we drive through Pittsburgh?
The plan was to go to Pittsburgh and stay there for the night because driving across Pennsylvania is wicked long. And then we were
wait, let me stop you. What's with the Wickeds? Who have you been hanging out with lately?
Am I saying it more than usual?
Yeah, much more.
I've said it already during this conversation.
You said it twice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I normally say it. I guess I'm just saying it more than usual. A wicked lot. I'm saying it a wicked lot. So it's really far. So we were going to go to Pittsburgh because neither one of us had been to Pittsburgh before. We were going to go to Pittsburgh and check it out. And we drove through. We were like, okay, we're almost there. We're getting close, whatever. I remember the sun was about to set. And the sun set, and I was like, wait a minute. That's a sign for Ohio. Like, we drove through Pittsburgh and didn't realize that we drove through Pittsburgh. So we were like, we don't need to go there.
Yeah.
So then we just ended up driving. And that's how I ended up staying in Ohio overnight because I was like, I can't drive anymore.
Yeah.
I got stuck on that fucking highway construction bullshit. That was the most
awful.
Ridiculous shit I've ever seen.
That was so
There's
bad.
just 10 miles of you can't get off this exit. There's no breakdown lane. If you need to stop, like, you're just going to die.
You're shit out of luck.
Horrible. Ohio's horrible.
So everybody, I don't drive. I don't know how to drive. I don't have a license. And so Brittany and I have been on multiple road trips. Multiple like cities long, days long road trips, and she has driven the entire time.
And that's all my fault because I asked you to go.
Yeah, you shouldn't have done that.
Didn't even think about, I was just thinking about who do I want to go with me? Who could go with me?
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, yeah, sure. I'll take time off work and like, let's do this thing.
Yeah. You know
And
me.
then I got in the car and it was like 16 hours later. And I'm like, I don't even have the option for her to drive.
Mm-mm. No, you don't.
And the states we were going across, I'm like, I can't even try and teach her how to drive. Like, this is just not going to work. So
and then you did it again. And then you did it a second time.
Yep. For the second half of the United States, I was like, you know what? I did it the first time. Let's do it again.
Why not?
Which part did you like more? The first half or the second half?
Well, the second half had more going on. Even though I didn't enjoy like being in Missouri or like driving through that part of the country. Like it was, the sunsets were beautiful and all of that. But there wasn't, like I'm not like a desert person. Like I don't like the desert.
Yeah. Were you surprised by any states that you like?
No.
You were like, I didn't know it looked like this, or
Not
I didn't
at all.
No.
No.
I was impressed by Utah. I did not realize it was that pretty. I'm not going to go live there, but like like the mountains were just everything that we drove through. I mean, everything that we drove through was like national forest or national park. So it was really, I thought it was really pretty.
I think the best part I can't remember if Denver was on the first half or the second
half.
Yeah, I think probably the best part of the second half was Denver.
Yeah, because we got so fucking high.
Very high.
Do you remember being lost in the parking garage for 45 minutes?
In Denver?
Yeah.
Where
it was our first day there, and we went to the dispensary. We did the typical, this is our first time doing edibles. Let's eat a piece of chocolate and see where this goes.
Yeah.
45 minutes later, nothing happened. And then we took another piece and it kicked in like 10 minutes later and they were like, fuck. So
so I don't remember that, but I do remember always forgetting where the car was. Like I remember that part.
I
like me,
can't really
would
blame you for that because like you don't drive, like that's not a
Yeah.
thing that you're used to.
All
I
cars are the
frequently,
same.
yeah, that too. I frequently get lost in parking garages completely sober. So I'm not surprised that we were lost, but like I swear to God, that was like the Twilight Zone. Like we were, we had to be on this. I had to walk by my car at least 3 times before I realized that it was my car. It like was to the point where we were starting to get sober because we were so like panicked about finding the car. Yeah, that was fun.
No,
Not.
Yeah, it's never fun. I went on a date and the person I was on a date with. No, this wasn't a recent date. This was like a month ago. The person I went on a date with was so high that they forgot where they had parked their car. And so I was in heels. We had walked like 3.5 blocks.
No, absolutely not.
And
come get me.
He couldn't find the car, and I'm clearly irritated. He's like, "Do you just want me to wait here? I mean, do you want to just wait here?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Bitch, get me an Uber.
I'm waiting like 15, 20 minutes. I don't know. He comes back. He's like, "I don't know where it is." So I'm upset. He looks, long story short, the car was there the whole time. We were like standing 3 cars down, like from where the car was. We had been standing.
That's really bad because like the whole time I was hitting my alarm on my car because I was like, if we get at all close to it, then I'll be able to find it, even if I can't see it. And that didn't even work. So the fact that he didn't even know, I hope you didn't go on a second date with this guy.
I like that boy, so you know.
So yeah, I always take a picture of wherever I am. Like somewhere there's a marker, like a number or a color or a letter that tells you where you are in the parking garage, and I take a picture of that so that I can at least orient myself that way.
Yeah, another reason for me to not drive. You know?
Yeah, and you don't have to. Like,
No,
there's so much public transit there. I mean, the bus sucks, but
I'm also, rich, so I can just pay for an Uber whenever I need to.
Are your Uber prices insane?
Yeah, they're fucking awful. Yeah. They're
like
always
what?
They're always pretty bad. I remember when the lockdown first happened. I was I was dating someone at the time. I was in a relationship at the time, and the person lived like less than 5 miles away from me, and the Ubers would be like $40. Like
that's ridiculous.
It would be ridiculous. Yeah. It was really bad. Tough shit out here. Also, like I joke a lot about being rich. I am not like a wealthy woman. I need to make sure everyone knows that that's sarcasm.
What's your longest depressive episode?
I can't remember. Probably the entire 4 years I was in college.
All right. I'm so glad that I brightened that.
Yeah. No, I've definitely had months long depressive episodes.
Yeah.
Which aren't fun. I've gone.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, it's fine. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you like within those depressive episodes, is there a little bit of an ebb and flow where you have like some days that are more manageable than others, or is every day like I'm not showering, I'm not eating, I'm not cleaning, I'm just doing the bare minimum?
Yeah, when I'm like in my depression, it's definitely the latter. Like I'm definitely like the former is like me on a good day. Like me like me doing well is I had 2 days this week where I didn't hate myself. I'm living the dream.
I didn't say anything about hating yourself. I'm just talking about like basic care.
Yeah, no, when I'm depressed, it all pretty much goes out the window.
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's how it gets you. I don't like feeling that way though, so I'm always working on getting myself out of that.
Can you feel it coming on?
Sometimes, yeah. I used to be better at it than I am now. I feel like though.
That's interesting. I feel like I've gotten better at it as time has gone on. I've gotten better at someone described it this way, and now I'm like, yeah, that's it. You know how like when people describe like mental states and you're like or emotional states and they're so hard to describe, and someone else will put it into words and you're like, that's exactly what it is, but I could never like actually figure it out. They said if they could feel depression coming in and like sinking its ugly teeth into them. And I'm like, yeah, like it does feel like someone's like taking a hold of you from my experience.
Yeah.
And so I start to kind of feel that. And then I, do whatever I can to avoid it at all costs. I think there was a period of time in my life that I don't want to say that I enjoyed it, but I was kind of like a martyr. Like I deserve this. Otherwise, why am I feeling it? So I must this must be happening for a reason. But I don't feel that way anymore. Thank God.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. No, I definitely relate to, I think like the feeling you're talking about. Like I don't know how it works for you, but I'll have like these like recurring really negative thoughts. And one of those is definitely, you're not a good person and you should feel like shit about yourself. Because you are a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We gotta be introspective and look at what we really have to offer ourselves in the world and take it one day at a time.
You know what I've struggled with in my years in therapy and like gaining self-awareness is realizing that other people lack self-awareness. And I'm not trying to it just becomes so apparent to me once it's apparent. It's just like very much there. Like you can't ignore it. You can't it's Pandora's box. It's open. You're dealing with it. And when I see other people that are just like blatantly unaware, I struggle with that.
Well, I think it's really hard to confront those feelings, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's hard to, okay, like taking myself for example, right? If the monster with the teeth is whispering in my ear, you're a bad person, right? I have two choices, right? Well, I have three choices, right? I could either ignore that, which is not bad. That's the not being self-aware. I could lean into it, which is equally as bad. Or I could try to have a conversation with that voice and be like, okay, why do I feel like I'm a bad person? And what can be done about that? Is any of that changeable? Is it rational? Where is this thought even coming from? And I think a lot of people don't like to, and it's difficult to confront the bad things about yourself, like the negative things about yourself, and actually be honest about that. It's easier to just pretend like it's not there, ignore it. Well, it seems easier. In the long run, it's not, because it's very damaging to the psyche and all that bullshit. But in the short run, it's easier not to address it. Yeah.
When you recognize those thoughts, do you realize that they're rational, or how does that process work for you? Or do you immediately, for example, I will say, we're just going with this, I'm not good enough thing. So I'll say to myself, you're not good enough. I recognize that that's not rational, but that doesn't help me feel any better. That doesn't change anything for me.
Yeah. No. So what I definitely get what you're saying. What I always have to remind myself is that I'm really no worse than the next person. You know what I mean? And it's when I know something logically, but I'm not feeling it like emotionally. You do have to override your emotions a bit with your logic. And when you can't, that to me is for me is depression. Is like when I'm unable to do that. Like that is
that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. Ralph, don't lick your lips at me.
Oh my god, this fucking cat. He just wants to be the center of attention today.
You fucking freak.
Really? I also have an obsession with knowing like why I feel this way or where does this come from. Mm-hmm. Do you have that? Or you're just like, this is just what it is?
What do you mean?
Like so this whole like, my biggest issue, I think, if I were to categorize them, is like, I don't feel like I'm good enough. Mm-hmm. So but I know that comes from my parents getting divorced when I was a kid and like my father leaving, even though he wasn't like technically leaving, but that's what it looked like when I was that age. And having those feelings of abandonment and thinking, okay, well, he left because of me. He left because I'm not good enough. And then that's just been like my storyline, like not realizing that that's my storyline throughout my whole life. And now it's just this pervasive thing with me where I'm like at the root of everything. The reason why I'm like triggered or why I have issues with something is because I feel like I'm not good enough. Mm-hmm. And so like I have to go all the way back to the beginning and understand where this comes from and why in order to move past it, which I need to work on because I think that's not fully accepting it. I'm not blaming anyone else. I'm just saying like, this is why I am the way that I am. And I like need that understanding in order to process it and move on.
Well, I think that's how it should be. Okay. You do have to look at those things and acknowledge those things. For me, one of the things that like looking back and all of those things is it helps because it's like, I'll be feeling anxiety or whatever about something I did. And then I have to remember, like, you were a child who was neglected. You were a child with no resources. You were a child with no guidance. So of course you acted this way. Because how else would, a kid who's essentially raising themselves act,
right.
But it's hard to remember that sometimes. Like it's hard to remember that's, it's a reason that's outside of yourself.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I lost 10 pounds.
Goddamn.
Diet's going good. I am feeling, well, I don't feel great right now because
because you're uncomfortable. Because your eyes.
Uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable. I'm also, I've got the cramps, the period cramps.
The worst.
Yeah.
I really want to buy that machine that is I don't know what the machine is called, but I've just seen it on like social media and whatever, where they hook up men to it and they're like, these are what contractions feel like. Yeah. These are what because I want to hook it up to myself and figure out like, okay, this is the amount of pain that I feel when I
what is the level of
let
it?
me put this on someone else and like, am I overreacting? Like, I think that's just internalized misogyny, but I still want to see other people's reactions because like I'm going about my day to day with the exception of yesterday.
So as I'm getting older, so part of, again, like I grew up in a like very difficult situation where like, I wasn't really able to express anything that was really going on with me. So I just became accustomed in my life to discomfort. Like I'm like, being in pain and not saying anything about it is very normal to me. And it really wasn't until like this year, maybe last year, when I'm like, why am I going to work if I'm sick? Why am I going to work if my cramps are so bad I can barely get out of bed? Why am I like, I don't have to suffer through this. Like, I don't have to be uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I am in pain. My pain is valid. It doesn't matter if somebody else could take it. I can't. And that's what that is.
Yeah.
But no, my cramps are fucking the real deal. I'm serious.
Do you have any, like, issues that you know of? Like I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, so I know that's why my shit is fucked up.
Yeah, no, not that I am aware of. I'm also a person who doesn't like to go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor.
It's entirely possible that
you've been to the OBGYN, right? At some point in your life?
Yeah, at some point in my life.
Okay. Oh God.
It was so unpleasant. Being a woman is
traumatizing.
Yeah.
It really is. Like I have to either have it at the end of the day or take the day off of work. Like I feel so violated when I get out of there.
It's very violating. Yeah.
I also have to have an ultrasound done when I go because of my PCOS, and so there's the ultrasound, the like probe, and someone's hand, and they're moving shit around in there. So like.
Yeah.
My legs are in the air. Like the whole thing is just, it's not cute.
It's not enjoyable whatsoever.
And men complain about someone sticking a finger up their ass and coughing. Really?
It's like, no, it's funny. It's like, I'm sure you've been tested for COVID, I'm sure, right?
I haven't.
Oh. Okay.
I haven't. I don't, I never had to. I never felt like I had it.
A pap smear feels like the same way like a COVID test feels like.
But on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just a swab.
But it's going into, but when they swab it, it's going like into your naval cavity. Like it's going all the way up in there. Like into
You mean your nasal cavity?
That's what I said.
You said navel.
I definitely said nasal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll listen back. Yeah, I've had tests like that before. So I have, and I can't remember why I had one of those, but also snort drugs. So like my nasal cavity is it's been around the block.
My nasal cavities have been around the block. Definitely a new one.
I definitely think a pap smear is way more invasive, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying like that sensation. I'm just trying to describe the sensation of actually, for people who've never had a pap smear but have had a COVID test. Imagine having a COVID test in your cervix. Like it's the same like weird sensation. Like it's a very strange feeling.
Yeah, I guess that's true because like outside things don't really normally like go in your nose. Like you don't normally have like those sensations throughout the day, the way that like you feel things on your skin.
Yeah. I don't enjoy getting COVID tests. I've only had 2, but but it felt the same. The first time I got one, I cried because it just felt so wrong. Like it was just like not a comfortable situation.
Well, it's also like all up in your lacrimal ducts, so they're just sitting there waiting to start crying.
No, that was emotion. That was all emotion.
Oh, okay.
I was crying from emotion.
I cried yesterday from pain, so
Yeah.
I get it.
Crying is the worst. I hate that shit.
You hate crying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who enjoys crying?
I mean, I feel better afterwards, I guess, with the exception of like congestion and dryness.
Really? I never feel better after crying.
It feels like, like kind of like a weight has been lifted, I guess, or like I got some shit out that I needed to get out that I couldn't process any other way. I think it's therapeutic. I think it should be concerning if you don't, if you hate crying that much and like don't feel better at all.
It doesn't make me feel better at all. Like I don't enjoy that shit. Like, is it supposed to make you feel better?
Yeah. Like the reason why you're crying shouldn't make you feel good. And like the act of crying probably doesn't feel good, but afterwards you should feel some sort of relief or release.
That doesn't make any sense. Like that doesn't compute to me.
All right. I really think you should go to therapy.
No, that doesn't compute. Like if I'm feeling bad about something, I'm feeling bad. If crying makes me feel bad, I'm feeling bad. So how does a positive come out of all that badness?
2 negatives.
No, that's positive. No, that doesn't apply here.
I don't know. It's just how it is. So, like, do you think it's okay to never cry?
Never cry in terms of like you're incapable of crying.
No, just like if you just never had a reason to cry. Like, do you think that's normal?
I don't know if it's normal, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, I can't dictate how somebody else should feel about their own shit. If they don't want to cry about it.
Yeah, all right. I meant you, but okay.
I mean, I cry. It just doesn't make me feel better. Like
Yeah.
it's an activity. It's like taking a shit. Like I mean, well,
You don't
taking a
have
shit
any-
does make me feel better.
Yeah, I was
Taking
gonna say
a
you
shit
don't feel any
makes
better
me
after
feel
that.
better than crying. Definitely. Maybe I should just do that when I'm sad. Is just take a shit.
How's your book going? Is it going?
That's one. I haven't had the creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
I've been focused. Been focused on the podcast. I've been focused on this. I've been focused on my diet. I've been focused on dating. Though I haven't been focused on the book too much. But it'll happen one day.
Yeah.
Eventually. Yeah.
I have spurts that I go through where I'll write a lot and then I'll read a lot. Or sometimes those happen at the same time.
Yeah.
I never it's never consistent. I don't have any. I can never be a writer.
Part of the problem, and this is in a similar vein as like music and TV for me, is that like I don't read for pleasure anymore. I remember when I was younger, and not even younger. I mean like 25. Like I used to, it was very normal for me to spend like 6 hours reading a book just straight, But like I don't read for pleasure anymore. Like
Why?
I don't enjoy it. I don't.
Have you just like had a bunch of bad books at the end? That'll happen to me where I just like go through a bunch of books that I'm like, this isn't it. And then I'll be on a hiatus for a while. And then I'm like, I just want to sit down and read. And so eventually I get back into it. But like, I do have moments where I'm like, this is not pleasurable anymore.
Yeah.
Which is the whole purpose.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because I don't even, it's hard for me to even like read the books that I love. I just think that I am numb to life.
That unfortunately is entirely too relatable.
I only enjoy YouTube long form videos about internet weirdos.
I can't do long form shit. I can't do anything like TikTok was my thing during the beginning of the pandemic because there was nothing else to do. I know you do.
I hate it.
They now have a 3-minute feature, and I'm like, I can't. Like, sometimes I appreciate it, but most of the time I'm like, I don't have a 3-minute attention span. Like, I don't want to sit here for a 3-minute video. If I wanted that, I'd go on YouTube. Like, get the fuck out of here. So, I mean, sometimes I guess it's necessary, but I just can't.
I hate social media in general. I hate that everything is just the same. Like it's just all the same content over and over again.
It's just a different platform.
People are making the same content. They're like sort of cross posting the same exact content. And then everything's, there's so many of those fucking like meme pages where they just like repost. So it's just like, I'll see a video, I'll click, not interested. And then, I'll scroll 2 videos later. It's the same thing. It's on a different page. And so I have like my block list is so long because the only way to stop this material from being like in my fucking eyeballs is to just block the account.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know
that's interesting. Like, it seems like the algorithm only works in one direction. Like, it's only like if you interact with something in any way, if you like, comment, whatever, it will give you more of that. But if you don't, it's still going to give you whatever you didn't interact with. And that pisses me off. Like, how do you're taking data regardless. So like, why can't you figure this out?
I don't fucking want to see this. This is bullshit. And so now I've got, all these people blocked or whatever. I hope none of them try to follow me. I know that people are sometimes weird about the whole blocking thing. Like there are some people who think that you shouldn't block someone unless they like have done something offensive or inappropriate. I'm like, no, I'm gonna block you if I just don't want to see you. Like,
yeah, there's a mute option on Instagram now where you can just like, you just won't see their shit, but you're not blocked, so like they can still follow you or whatever. I think, but it's like less aggressive than the block.
Man, just.
But I know you don't care. Yeah. I don't know. The only thing I block is like when I get fucking porn messages all the time, and I'm like, stop it. Like this is annoying. Stop taking this time away from me. If I wanted to see you, I would seek you out. Like I know where to find you, how to find you. Get the fuck out of here.
I get lots of like scam DMs where it's like this brand wants to work with you. This brand. I'm like, you fucking
no, you
7-digit username fucking Russian
you don't
bot
fucking
piece
know
of
me.
shit.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
I hate that.
You do not want to work with me. Where's the money? Talk about that. That's how I know you're real. Kiss my ass. Give me money. Give me money and kiss my ass. In that order. Exactly that order.
Give me money, kiss my ass.
That's called prostitution. And I mean, why not? If all they're doing is kissing my ass, I'll do that. I'll prostitute myself that way.
This is going places.
Yeah, I mean, when I was young, like like high school.
Are you going to talk about Pink Dick?
No.
No. Okay. You don't remember that story?
I don't know where you're going. What I'm going to talk about is something different. Okay. I'm going to talk about how I wanted to be a madam when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like that was like legitimately my dream. Like I've always had this like fascination with the porn industry. Like not like with porn as like a genre and a concept. Like I've always been like really into it, and I really sex work. Yeah, I've really I think I honestly believe this. That I would be an amazing madam.
Absolutely.
I would be so good at it.
Without question.
Thank you so much.
Seriously. Like that, like I feel like you're made for that.
Yeah. Like I think that I would be great at like directing porn. And I say this as a person who doesn't, it's not that I don't like to have sex. I just don't care about it that much. Mm-hmm. I think we've talked about this. Yeah. It's very low on my list of priorities.
Mm-hmm. Showering, sleeping, eating, fucking.
Yeah. We've been there. The people know. Few people know. But I think maybe that's part of why I would be so good at these things, because I'm like, I can look at it like anything else. You know? What I mean?
Like you're kind of platonic with it.
Yeah, like
you're not gonna be sitting there like rubbing one out.
Yeah. I hate porn. I hate the porn. Like I can't even watch it. It grosses me out. Like what they do these days. Like it's so disgusting.
Anything specifically? Because like there's a ton of shit that they're doing these days that grosses me out.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think that like porn stars are ugly now. Like I remember when porn stars used to put like a lot of effort into how they look and stuff like that, but now they're all pretty gross.
Male and female.
Yeah. Okay. And the issue that I think the biggest issue I have with porn is like I'm always feeling guilty about it, because I'm like, I don't know the level of consent that's being observed here.
None. Like I gotta pay my rent. I don't want to do this, but I gotta be here.
Yeah, especially if it's like not American. I'm always really worried.
Zero, like, absolutely zero.
And then I feel like and on one hand I'm like, well, Ryan, that's kind of xenophobic for you to assume that this Indian woman can't consent to making a porn. But then I'm like, is it xenophobic, or should I be concerned? Know what I mean?
No, I'm 100% concerned.
So it's difficult. It's difficult.
You know what? It's interesting. I don't know if interesting is the right word, but like there'll be some like where am I going? Men, I guess, like when it seems like the woman is not consenting. And so like the porn star will be like the female porn star, assuming we're watching heterosexual porn, is like just trying to get away and like crying and whatever. Like,
well, see, like I don't mind like rape play or like non-consent, but I need to know that that actor consented though. Like I need to know that that person actually consented.
That's the thing. I don't think that they are, because they're so bad at acting.
And then you're like, but this is way too believable.
Yeah, like this actually looks real.
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh God, I can't do it. I can't. Yeah. I don't like any of that.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes it difficult. And so then, you know, I enjoy hentai a bunch. I always have, because it's animated, you know, I can feel less guilty about it. These people aren't real. But then there's no content control. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you can definitely see some things you definitely don't want to see. It's such a minefield. It's such a these days I mostly watch like lesbian porn. Like,
yeah,
this feels
it seems
safest.
Like a lot of women just start watching lesbian porn all the time.
Yeah,
like that's their go-to.
Even
if they're not interested in lesbian relationships.
Do you like watch porn with your partner? Like when you're dating someone, do you watch porn with them?
I have not, but I feel like that's something. So all of my relationships have just been short. I feel like a lot of the people that I've dated would definitely be into that, but it just like never came up in conversation. Like we're still very much like just into each other and like having a great time by the time we break up. So like none of that stuff ever really happens. We never get to that point. Did you?
No, I would never. Porn is a very singular experience for me. It's like something like I'm doing this by I don't need you. I like to masturbate alone. Like I don't want you there for that. Like,
that I agree.
This is a me thing. Like, I'm not going to enjoy it with someone else around like at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having like porn on while we're doing things, but I don't. Like if you need more stimulation, I guess.
And also men are like usually really like into really gross shit. Like I'm just
really gross shit.
I don't want
really gross shit. Like, and I'm not like, please don't turn on 2 Girls 1 Cup. Like get the fuck out of here. That's not
Does anybody out there remember? They've got to. Our audience has to.
I hope they're our age. I hope they're not.
Do you remember Tub Girl?
No, I feel like some of these things I blocked out because they were so dramatic.
Goatse, do you remember?
I'm Googling it.
Lemon Party, do you remember Lemon Party?
No. I gotta look all this shit up now. Why? I'm afraid. There's a meme. I'm afraid. I'm so scared.
And you're doing it.
Okay, Tub Girl doesn't sound that bad. I just read the Urban Dictionary description. That's not that bad. What was the other one you said?
I said a bunch. There's Goatse, there's Lemon Party. I can just tell you. So yeah, Goatse is the guy with the 10-inch asshole.
Oh, good God. Good Lord. Okay. Oh my God. Don't Google this. Don't Google it.
Google it. Do it. Destroy your eyeballs.
I read the description for Lemon Party. I'm not looking up anything more than that.
And mind you, I was like 11, 12 seeing these things.
Right, like that should have happened early on.
Yeah, that's why I have a love-hate relationship with porn now.
At least everything was like pixelated back then because we had terrible.
Nah, it was pretty clear for me.
I'm so worried about like children these days. Like, like when we wanted to learn about sex and stuff, like you would go and like find an anatomy book and like look at diagrams, or no, you didn't do any of that. Okay. Or like, you just had to learn it from other kids, but everything was always misinformation. If you were lucky enough to have a TV in your room like I was, and you happened to have Cinemax, you might have caught some action if you were up late at night. But like other than that, now kids have phones and can just like look up whatever the fuck they like crazy.
I mean, I kind of feel like that's how it was for us too. I mean, we grew up with the internet. Like my first experience watching porn was on the internet, and I was like, yeah, it's an 11. I mean, I
don't think I was that young.
Yeah. Did you have a computer in your home at that age?
I did. I had a desktop in my, like those giant ass fucking desktops that literally take up a whole desk. And we got it when I was, probably 10, 11, but I don't remember.
Were you like a good kid or something?
I was a good kid,
Like
but
a
I, didn't have any siblings. So like I didn't have anywhere to go for any of my information. I've always been a researcher. I've always had to like figure shit out on my own. So I definitely did my own, Googling wasn't a thing back then, but I was in the chat rooms.
Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, Ask Jeeves. Definitely was on Ask Jeeves and AOL, had Hotmail account, all of that.
I miss AIM.
Absolutely. I would use that right now.
Yeah. Oh, fucking
I feel like Apple is trying to do that when they have like the text chat feature like on your laptop. You know how like everything's interchangeable, but it's not the same.
Oh, I miss that shit. I miss Messenger. I used to be on all those little platforms, finding weirdos around the world to talk to. Love that shit.
Did you ever go on Chat Roulette?
Oh yeah. No, definitely.
So much dick.
Yeah.
Just like every third person was just a dick. But there were some interesting people on there that I had like real conversations with. I never did that on my own. I was always like with a friend and we would be like, let's go on Chat Roulette and see like who we can find.
No, I'd be on there just to see it was on. I remember like a woman pop, it was just her tits. Like she already had her tits out. And I just kind of sat there for a minute. Like, what do we do now? And she just kept sitting there. I'm like, I guess she doesn't care that I'm a chick. That's fine. But I'm not interested in your tits, lady. But I'm into the fact that there are women on here who are just as, voyeuristic as these men are. Yeah, no, I was like, yeah, that's what's up. Live your life. Titties out.
Why not?
Do your thing. Good shit. Love it. Love that shit.
What a life we've lived.
Yeah.
I'm not saying in a good or bad way. I'm just saying in an interesting way.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's
so much.
As being an older millennial, we've benefited from the advent of random dick flying across our screens, and it's all good stuff. On that note, I hope that you all find some dicks on your screens that
or
consensually, consensual dicks on your screens.
Or vaginas, or
I mean, if you're into vaginas on your screen, sure.
Whatever you're into, I hope you find it.
Yeah, as long as it's consensual and human, have at it. Do your thing.
That was such a good sign off.
Bye, everybody.